Above and Beyond, the real estate show. Hey guys, it's Ralph Ciancio, and I'm excited to present to you another episode of the Above and Beyond Real Estate Show. And I am here with my good friend and realtor extraordinaire, Mr. Colin Noble.
Hello. Welcome. Yeah, no problem.
We're excited.
Glad to be back.
Yes.
Different backdrop today.
Yes, we are back, but somewhere new. We are at live on location here at Boréal Gâteau Creamery. Awesome spot here in the heart of Main Street, Unionville, and we're excited to be here. Really cool set, but we've got an interview with a great entrepreneur who's shaking things up here in Main Street, Unionville. But before we get into that, we want to break down what's taken place in the real estate market over the last week or so here in the Toronto area, in Markham, Stouffville area, and we want to break down, what's going on as the market heads right through the fall.
Busy.
How's the week been, Colin?
Busy. I know the last few episodes was spoken about the fall market and how typically seasonally it's busy, second busiest time of the year. But the last week has been very busy. A couple of our listings, we had open houses last weekend, and they crushed our expectations.
Yeah, you guys are busy.
We
busy on the
had,
weekend, right?
On Saturday on one of the properties, we had 50 groups through. Yeah. So that's a lot. I haven't seen that in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And our other one in Thornhill was also extremely busy, and different products, different types of homes, both very, very busy. So sure. I think the market is alive. People are out there, whether there were 50 buyers that came through or it was 50 nosy neighbors.
I think it's probably a healthy mix of both.
It was a mix, judging by the number of offers that we did receive. We listed the home on Friday. Yeah. We held open house Saturday, Sunday, and collectively probably 70 groups through. And we had multiple offers on Monday. Was it Monday?
Yeah.
Monday, yeah.
Absolutely.
So crazy. Things are moving quickly.
For sure.
We're used to, I'd say the last couple months, there were 30 days, 45, 60 days on the market. We just turned over in 3 days with lots of activity. So
it's kind of reminiscent of what we went through in previous months. Maybe we talk about the very, very busy start of the year or really all of last year. I would argue that throughout 2021 we had a feeling pretty similar to that.
Agreed. Yeah. So it was nice to have things a little calm, but now I think things are moving.
So when I hear you say that there's 50 people coming through, or 50 groups coming through the open house, that tells me that number one, there's an appetite for real estate. Number two, the effects of COVID and being locked up and avoiding being in groups or going into places that are not home or work, that's all gone.
For sure.
So I can see that.
For sure. Well, last year we couldn't even do open houses. Remember, we were completely restricted as to not only showings and number of people through showings, but no open houses. Yeah. So,
and it's worth noting. I mean, in that time, so, bringing our listeners back in time, there was a period where all of that was restricted. And, as a productive real estate team, we had to pivot and contour our style and our process so that we could sell homes without in-person showings or without open houses. But I tell you, and we've been selling real estate for 15 years. Having open houses is a great way to showcase, to market, to package the product that we're selling, and that's why we love open houses.
For sure. And what I love about open houses is you get that interaction with buyers who are actively looking. Yes. So you hear what they're saying. Oh, I wish the master bedroom was bigger. Oh, I wish there was another powder room on the main floor, and that helps us be educated with what buyers are looking for, exactly. But it also allows us to provide that feedback to our sellers. Absolutely. So I think it's all super valuable information to know.
For sure. Back in a past life, I used to work at Markham Homes, and one of the things that we did as a company, we'd actually have focus groups. So I would sit down with other people in the management team, and we'd sit behind a glass, two-way mirror, and we'd bring in 20 homeowners and ask them about their experience and what they're looking for. And management made marketing decisions. They made so funny. Decisions on the product.
Sounds like an interrogation or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know who's behind there.
What do you think of the drapes? What do you think of the drapes? But to your point, that's what open house is like. It's like a mini focus group.
Totally.
And we're able to bring that intel back to our clients and say, look, people feel like the home is too cluttered. We should actually thin out some of the furniture. Or some people complain about a smell. Let's get the windows open and let's get some fresh air coming through. So there are ways that we can actually be reactive as opposed to sitting with our hands and our head in the sand, right?
For sure. So open houses were busy and multiple offers. So I think the market's picking up, and my expectation is it's going to continue to be busy for the Next,
Well, we'll see. I mean, I
Two
don't know.
and
A
a half- two and a half
couple of the
months,
big guys out there made some predictions this week. I know you
Yeah.
were in the media looking at some of the reports from ReMax,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, ReMax Canada came out today, and their forecast is a 2.2% decrease in home prices until the end of December.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
from I think the benchmark for that is as of now, as of today, so end of September.
So basically
the next
October
3
to
months.
the last quarter of the year, 2.2%
Correct.
decrease. But now, are they talking about a local market? Like, what's that data point?
But my understanding is it's Canada wide. So again, that's a very broad forecast. As we know, there's micro markets everywhere. So
I guess there's a lesson
careful.
in that, right? Yeah. And to your point, Colin, when they're talking about a 2.2% drop in prices that they're predicting, ReMax Canada, I mean, that's the price that factors in Red Deer, Alberta, Halifax,
Totally.
British Columbia, Northern Ontario.
Yeah.
So, that's really speaking to a data point that only is really relevant if you own real estate throughout the country or you're a multinational company that owns real estate everywhere. I think for homeowners, it's a catchy headline. I don't think it's relevant, or really, I don't think it's true for everybody that would be reading that headline.
For sure.
I do see that I feel like prices are on their way upwards. I don't think we're going to see a breakthrough, but I think we're going upwards.
Yeah, and to your point, we spoke about earlier today, actually, about how during COVID, the necessity to be near the metro center, the city, sort of fell off the rails because people were working from home. They were on Zoom. They didn't have to be in an office situation. So urban sprawl sort of sprawled out. Rural properties became, very popular, high demand. There were bidding wars. Prices went through the roof. The back to work. You need to be back in the office now.
We're hearing that more and more, right?
We're seeing is it like a reverse urban sprawl? What do you call it? What do you call it?
We'll call it urbanization, I guess.
Yeah, but back to like the city center, right? So those rural properties are probably, the values of those have come down probably more significantly than the city centers.
And I'd argue that from a density perspective, more people in Canada live in city centers. But I think as a proportion of all the population, a vast majority of Canadians are in more rural areas.
Right.
I mean, really, except for like the big metropolises. We talk about Montreal, Vancouver, Toronto, maybe Hamilton, Edmonton, Calgary. I'm probably missing a couple of big cities, but aside from that, they are still rural components to those big cities.
For sure. Yeah, and it's funny because the information we get, 2.2% decrease. We heard last month TD said 25% decrease in home prices. There's a lot of contradictory information out there. So what should consumers or people in the market look for? I think it's important to understand what the 25% actually means.
Absolutely.
Right?
And I think that's exactly the question is, what does this actually mean? What does this mean for me? And the best way that you're going to get that is not by reading on Google, not by watching national news. I think it's coming from a local expert. And we're not saying specifically you have to call Ralph, you have to call Colin as your real estate experts. I mean, we would love that, but that's not the point. The point is you have to find a local expert, someone you trust in terms of ethics and looking out for your best interest, but also someone you trust in terms of core competence. Do they actually know what's going on? Are they active in this market? Because if somebody's your good friend from high school, but they sold 1 home this year or 3 homes this year, they're going to be projecting what they think is happening in the marketplace based on 3 intervals that took place over 9 months. Whereas if you're dealing with a hyper-local agent that sells enough homes to have concrete data, I think you're going to get the best data for your family. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
But I think back to my point of 25%, I think they were referring to the peak of the market, right? Yeah. So January, February of this year, 25% decrease in prices to the beginning of 2023. I think we're there. I think we're already there.
We are there. So it's already happened. So it's kind of like talking about a boogeyman that doesn't really exist. It's news catching, clickbait essentially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always good to catch up with you, Colin, in terms of breakdown of the market. Yeah. We hope you find value in these kind of snippets and conversations about where the real estate market's at. But today we're really excited because we are live on location at Boréal Gâteau and Creamery, and we want to introduce a young entrepreneur who's shaking things up here on Main Street.
And Daisy's gonna, I think, have us taste test some of the ice creams as well.
That sounds like a great taste.
I'm excited.
Test.
Yeah,
that sounds like a win-win.
Yeah,
so,
awesome.
All right, so let's get to it.
Yeah, awesome. Welcome, Daisy.
All right, now we are back with Daisy, the owner and entrepreneur here at Boréal Gâteau Creamery. So welcome, Daisy. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for having me. So I am the owner of Boreal Gâteau Creamery, and we specialize in artisanal ice creams and ice cream cakes, little mini ice cream cakes, with the aesthetic being mirror glaze and marbling.
So cool.
It's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
they look like art pieces. No, I don't really want to eat it,
Yeah,
but
but you know, when you eat it, you're going to want to eat it.
I know.
I've had them before.
Well,
and
we're going to have to, or else we're going to melt.
that's it. I guess we have to eat them.
Yeah, no choice.
Yeah.
So
Daisy, so nice for you to be here. Thank you for letting us into your store.
Oh, my pleasure.
How long have you been on Main Street, Unionville?
So I've been here for about a year. We opened last August 28th, 2021. And yeah, we just celebrated our 1 year and it was great.
happy birthday.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And what was the any reason for being on Main Street, Unionville here, or
Well,
why an ice cream shop?
Well, I mean, I started the business mainly because I want ice cream cake for my birthday
Good
every
answer.
year. But I wanted something a bit more grown up, a bit more sophisticated because we're not children anymore, and something a bit higher quality. So the only ice cream cakes you can get out there is from Dairy Queen or from Baskin Robbins, and they're great for kids. But I was looking for something a bit more patisserie style, with the same kind of cakes you would get if you go to a high-end pastry shop, right? And I couldn't find it at the time, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I just make it myself?
Wow,
right?
that's awesome.
And that's
That's so
kind
inspiring.
of that's kind of where it started from home while I was still doing my day job. I've been a pastry chef for about 10 years now, and I was working in different places, right? And this idea just sprung up, and yeah, we chose Main Street because it's just got the cutest vibe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's great,
Yeah.
and like the historical, feeling of it. I just thought it was a great little background for our pieces here. So.
To me, what makes Main Street, a great place to be is the experience. I mean, right now it's the fall; it's absolutely gorgeous out. But it's gorgeous in the spring, it's gorgeous in the summer, it's even gorgeous in the winter. And you get that experience of walking along Main Street where you grab a coffee, grab an ice cream, go for a walk around the pond. And I think that complements your product so well because it is a high quality product. It is aesthetically beautiful. It's something you want to talk about. And that's what really drew me in. I came in here kind of serendipitously as a guy looking for a coffee, and I was blown away with the quality of what I could see.
I think you're probably looking for ice cream.
I was looking for ice cream. I gotta be honest with you. You know me too well. I saw the sign. It said ice cream.
Ice cream here.
And you know what? When I heard your story, I felt so inspired. I thought someone's looking for something out there in the marketplace, couldn't find it, and and you went out there and said, I'm gonna make it on my own. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, because honestly, I think everyone has a little bit of a child in them, and they're looking for something that is nostalgic for them, and that's kind of what we play off of, right? Because this is ice cream. It is very pretty to look at, but the flavors are very familiar.
It's delicious. It's delicious.
Thank
Yes.
you.
I'm gonna keep eating.
Okay, go ahead. But yeah, it's definitely because even the ice cream scoops we have downstairs, we make here, and we try to come up with flavors that you don't usually think of when it comes to ice cream, but the flavors are still familiar to you elsewhere.
Right.
Right. So coming from my parents were both from Hong Kong, right? So I have a lot of different memories of food products from Hong Kong that you don't usually find in ice cream, but we still incorporate here, and that really resonates with a lot of people in the area.
That's so cool.
Right. And same with ice cream flavors like PB&J or or Cookie Crunch. It's just flavors you would not think of, but really, really work, and it just really draws people in, I think. Yeah.
They're gorgeous. They are delicious.
Thank you. I'm gonna have a little bite too.
And so now you sell ice cream. You also sell coffees as well.
Yes.
And so I guess if anybody out there is looking for maybe a chance to get out, I mean, if you're working from home and looking for a quick coffee and a really cool experience, or maybe somebody looking for a date night idea, and this is an awesome spot. We're actually upstairs on the second floor. Really cool area if you want to have a private conversation or have a great night out. This would definitely be a great compliment.
Yeah, for sure. I want to talk briefly, if I have time. Do I have time? I got time. About how there's a differentiation. I'm already getting the feeling of this isn't a Dairy Queen ice cream, obviously. This isn't a Baskin and Robbins or whatever. This this is like the top of ice cream
Yeah.
as you can get it. And not only, Ralph, if you want to grab that little box behind you here, it's not just the taste of the ice cream and getting an ice cream. It's you mentioned it before, the experience of the ice cream, right?
Yeah.
You walk into the shop, it's not your typical ice cream parlor. It's nice. Look at the forks we're using. You may not be able to see them,
Yeah.
but the
It's
presentation of
overall
everything is
experience.
super nice, right?
We
And it's like,
definitely try to pay attention to every single detail of the experience, right? Because I think that's like the most important thing that you get out of coming to any shop, right? Because you can go to like Dairy Queen and sure get like a $2 whatever cone,
Yeah.
right? You come here and you pay a little bit more, you get a much better experience, right? And like little details like with the fork and the plates and like our whole vibe is what
And
we're
your
really,
service as well.
Yeah, exactly.
To be
Yeah.
frank. Yeah, service
Yeah.
as well is great.
Yeah, so like that's what we really strive for when you come to because that's what you pay for, right?
And you know what? That's why in our first conversation, I remember a couple weeks back, I felt so inspired coming here because I think so much of this. I mean, it is a story about quality, but it's also a story about experience, and it's also a story about packaging, right? Because that's all part of it. And
For
you know,
sure.
we talk about in our company, we talk about the Tiffany box, right? Tiffany Jewelry has like an iconic blue box with a blue ribbon, and that's part of the experience. Ritz-Carlton, the same thing.
Yeah.
All these global iconic brands. They have an experience that is
yeah,
well-
Apple's a great one, right?
Great
you open the
example.
Apple product and like it's all nice and it's like
I
the
still have every
experience of
box.
opening a new iPhone.
I still have
right?
every single box
Yeah.
of any Apple product. Like this in my house, like
Yeah.
just empty iPhone 4 cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I got them, but and you know what? In terms of the packaging, I think you knocked it out of the park. I think where I felt connected and chatting with you is as real estate brokers, as people who help sell products. The product just happens to be a house. We really put our focus on number one is the experience, but in terms of the sales process, we really want to package the product the best we can. So in your version, you have your really cool looking forks. In ours, we have a handyman that goes to a client's home for a day. You have really cool boxes. We have feature sheets and marketing brochures that you can touch and have a velvet touch to them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same but different.
Yeah.
And I think that in terms of the way that we serve our clients is the same. High level of service, a great level of respect for the customer, but the product that you're putting out there is for them to remember.
For
Yes,
sure,
exactly.
for sure, and that's the differentiation, right, between the top echelon and
Everyone else.
Yeah, whether
everyone
we're
else,
talking about
right?
real estate agents,
Yeah.
or we're talking about ice cream. Yes, you
Yeah.
can buy a $1.39 ice cream cone.
Yeah.
There's 12 places on Main Street, Unionville,
Totally.
that serve ice cream.
Yeah.
And there's a different market for each price
For sure.
point. And I think that's true in hotels, in real estate services, in cars. And I think that for anyone out there that is feeling an entrepreneurial itch, I think this is an inspiring story where you can create a marketplace, right? If we looked on Main Street, Unionville, was there a necessity for one more ice cream place? I would say if you asked me 6 months ago or a year and a half ago, I'd probably say no. But you found the niche and you're thriving, you're doing well.
Exactly,
And,
yeah.
and we
Yeah.
love having you as a neighbor.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful. Any closing thoughts? I want to maybe tell us a little bit about your hours, your location, just so people feel comfortable coming in. I encourage you to come in.
Yeah, like we said, I am located on Main Street, Unionville, 205, the bottom unit, and we're just right beside Starbucks, so we're really, really easy to find.
Yeah, right at the corner of Carlton and Main Street, Unionville, opposite of the community center, right? Crosby
Yep.
Community Center. And, a great place. There are a ton of events coming up on Main Street, Unionville through the fall, but every day is an event on Main Street, Unionville, whether they're filming a movie or people are getting married or you're looking for a great way to spend 2 hours with the kids. Come check it out. Come try a great dessert and a coffee. And as a matter of fact, we were just talking before we went live. We want to have a great contest to get people in here. I think it'd be fun. For people that like and comment on this video, we're going to be giving away 5 dessert prize packs, which includes a coffee and an ice cream of your choice. We're going to be giving away 5 prize packs to people that comment and
like
comment
they
and
can
like.
subscribe too.
We
Like,
want you
that's
to
totally
subscribe.
fine.
Do that as well.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
bonus.
yeah.
And again, in closing thoughts, anything else, Colin?
No, I
Daisy?
think No, I think this is incredible. Like, I love the ice cream. I love the.
Wait until you get to the center. You're not even at the
Oh
center.
my goodness! I need a bigger fork.
And bigger pants.
and just appreciative of you being a neighbor, letting us in, and
Oh, my pleasure. And thank
Yeah.
you again for having me, because this
Yeah.
is a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much. Thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for another episode of the Above and Beyond Real Estate Show coming to you soon. Make it a great one.
thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Now, if you liked what you saw, check out these other videos and be sure to subscribe. No, really, subscribe. I can wait. I'm in between shoots, so you can go ahead. I didn't hear the ding. I'm gonna wait till we hear the ding. See you soon.